Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make my acrylic keychains, and then we're also going to have some fun with UV resin. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so as always, our journey begins in Silhouette Studio. So I do have my designs over here on the left hand side. This is for my background. You can get designs from design bundles, or you can even get them from the internet. But if you are going to be selling keychains, I would recommend just to buy the design, so that way you know you can sell end products with that particular design. So the first thing we need to do is just create a template, and that is going to help us know exactly where to place our text and where to place our design. So to do that, I am going to bring up the ellipse tool. Now, your template might be different depending on the design of your keychain. So mine is just a circle and it is 5 centimeters in diameter. So I know that I need to make my template 5 centimeters. So I'm just going to hold down Shift on my keyboard and I'm going to click and drag, and that's going to create a perfect circle for me. And then I'm just going to click on the select tool and I'm going to change the size to 50 by 50 millimeters. Okay, and I'm just going to zoom in. Okay, so now my template is ready to go. Now I can start placing my design in my template. So this is the one background that I want to create. So I do need to make it just a little bit smaller. And it can be hanging over the edges of the template. It's perfectly fine. You can always cut that away when you go to assemble the keychain. So that looks good to me. I'm going to select both of these objects and then I'm just going to align them to the center and the middle. Okay, that's good to go. And then we're going to do another one. So I'm just going to copy this template and paste it. And I'm going to align my other design in my second template. So obviously I don't want this one to overlap my template because of this particular design. So it obviously just depends on what design you're going to be using. Okay, that looks really nice. So now we're ready to do the names. So I'm going to select my text tool and then I'm going to type out my name because I need a new keyring. So I'm going to type out Kaylin, and then I'm just going to change the font, make it like a nice script font. I do like script fonts. So one of my favorite fonts to use is called Heart Attack. And I think I bought this from design bundles. So you can also get a whole bunch of fonts from design bundles. So let me quickly change this. I think my font list is still populating. That's why I can't really, oh gosh, I can't really type it out. I just opened Silhouette Studio, so yeah, it's not going to allow me to do that. So let's just hit the drop down menu and then I'm going to search for the font really quickly. Okay, so here it is over here, and that looks so cute. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so now we can, I'm just going to make this a different color so that it's easier to see. We'll make it white. No, not white. That's just, I don't know why I chose that one. Let's just go with purple. Okay, and then you can obviously resize your text inside your template. And like I said, you know, it's good to have a template. So now you know exactly how big your text needs to be. So that looks good to me. Don't forget to weld your text if you are working with a script font. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to right click. My computer is just so slow today. I don't know what is going on with it. Okay, right click, and then I'm going to click on weld. And then I'm just going to right click and click on group so that everything is grouped together. And our text is pretty much ready to go. So now we can do the next one, and I'm going to grab my text tool again. And this one I'm making a keyring for my daughter's friend. So we're going to use her name. And then again, I'm going to select the font. And I'm just going to resize it. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to weld it. I don't think anything needs to be grouped together. That's fine like that. Okay, so I'm going to do another 2 keychains that are just going to be very plain and simple. It's not going to have a fancy background or anything like that. So I'm just going to copy this template again. I'm actually going to copy and paste it twice because I am going to be making 2 more keyrings. So we'll just line those up. Right, so I don't need to put any design in the template because, well, except for the name, because I am just going to be using a solid color background. So all I need to do is just add the names. Okay, so I am pretty much done with my designs. Now let's quickly talk about cut settings. So for vinyl, I have made a preset myself, and I use this for Avery, Graphitech, and Oracle 651 vinyl, and it cuts my vinyl perfectly each time. So I have a blade of 3, a force of 10, and a speed of 5. Now for silver chrome and gold chrome vinyl and opal and holographic vinyl, I do change the force to 18. So if I don't change the force, then it doesn't cut through on holographic, opal, and chrome vinyls. So you might just need to play around with it, just test it out. Always do a test cut, especially if you're new to silhouette, and then rather just do a test cut just to be sure. But generally for those types of vinyls, I use a force of 18 and it cuts perfectly fine. For normal vinyl, I just use a force of 10. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out on my Cameo. I'm not going to show you that part. I feel like you guys have probably seen it over and over again. So I'm just going to skip over that whole part, and we're just going to go straight to making the keychains. I'm going to start by removing the protective sheeting on the one side of the acrylic disc, and then I'm going to add my background. So to burnish the vinyl down, I'm just using a card and my fingers, and I'm just going to make sure that sticks really well. Once that is done, I'm going to remove the transfer tape. I'm going to repeat this process on the other side. This time I'm just adding the name. So this is what it looks like when it's done. I went ahead and did the second one. Now we're ready to add the UV resin. So I got my UV resin from SA Sublimation Blanks, and I'm going to mix this into 2 separate cups. So I'm going to be using glitter for the one, and I got my glitter from SA Resin Supplies. She has a whole bunch of nice colors, so go check her website out. So I'm just going to mix these 2 different cups of resin, and then I'm going to add it to my keychains. So the one thing that I can say is when you are adding UV resin to your keychains, just be extremely careful, because it is really easy to spill the resin over the sides and in the hole where the split ring, not the split ring, sorry, where the jump ring is supposed to go. So when you're doing this, just take your time. So when that was done, I then cured this under a UV lamp for about 4 minutes. I did let this dry for an additional 3 minutes outside in the sun, just so that it was really cured for when we go to apply UV resin to the other side of the keychain. So now I'm just going to add some UV resin to seal the top of the keychain, and again just being really careful not to spill on the sides. And then I'm going to cure this again under the UV lamp for about 4 minutes, and then again in the sun, and then we're ready to move on to the next 2 keychains. So now I'm going to be doing a solid color background keychain, and these are my favorite, my personal favorite. This is how I make my keychains. So I am going to just remove a little bit of the vinyl away from the backing, and I'm going to burnish it down using a card. So while I'm burnishing it, you'll see that the backing is slowly coming away, and this prevents, doing it this way prevents air bubbles. So if you do solid color backgrounds, you will see the bubbles in the vinyl, so it's best to just avoid them. Once that's done, I'm just going to use my standing knife and cut away all of the excess vinyl. I also am going to go around the edges and just trim away any vinyl that's sticking out. Now I am just going to add the names on top, and this is just a really simple keychain, but it looks so beautiful. I really liked the color combination. Now it's time to add the hardware. So I made the hardware myself. I went to a local wholesale jewelry supply store and got the split rings, the chain, and the jump rings, and I just assembled it myself. So what we're going to do is just open the jump rings and put them through the hole of the keychain, and then we're just going to close that up really tightly with some pliers, and then that is pretty much it. So this is what they should look like once they are done, and that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye!